This is recording. It is recording. Participants. All right. So, class inside again today. Trying to get an angle here. That'll work. All right. So, sorry I couldn't get the thing started in time, but so we're gonna work a few basics. Just gonna do the basics today. So instead of doing the form, I'm just gonna do a few moves out of the form and do them as repeats over and over. A little easier to learn that way. One second. All right. So first move we're gonna do is just attach it to the form, but to simplify it so it's gonna be a lot easier. So what we're gonna do is stand with our feet about double our shoulder length, where we can shift our weight back and forth. And we're going to do this big circle with our arm. It's like a big scoop. And as we turn, the hand turns over to you. You see I'm turning from here. 1 second. Right. Open this way. And back the other way. Shift your weight. And let the arm turn. All right, the other side. Once again, shifting the weight, turning your waist. It's like you have a ball right here, and you're shifting your weight, turning from here, right? And as you turn, that's the shoulder's going to follow that same circle. Sit kind of low and scoop. And go the other direction. Breathe nice and deep in the belly, the diaphragm. All right. And work a few other circles. Do another basic is doing the shoulder circles this way. All right. Backwards. And drop. Backward. And drop. And forward. Go forward. Drop. And then you can just go up and down. Raise them up and just let them drop. Don't force them down, just let it drop. All right. Next, let's try. This is another version of that. Instead of going this way, we're going to shift, turn. See how you're doing it? It's kind of the same thing. You're doing a circle. The only thing is now it's going to go this way. 2 circles, figure it. So at first, when you're doing the move, it's kind of this, right? And look at the wrist. Make sure the wrist is always leading. So my teacher used to talk about it as like a fish swimming. This fish is swimming like this, it's dead, right? It's gonna go head first. It won't move like this. It goes there, head first, head first. Sometimes the head's there, sometimes the head's there or there. But it's always head first, okay? And it's actually doing the move, once again, is this part of the body. Turn. Kind of like a roller coaster. You push it up, you just let it drop. Momentum takes it back up, and let it drop again. No, momentum will take it up. So here, actually pushing with the legs back this way. And it's just going to follow. Once again, by the arm is doing this, your body's already pushing back the other way. Right? But there's a delay, just like if you were underwater or something. Here, the hips kind of leaving. And then here, this hip. Mm-hmm. Now, the other side, or other hand, rather. Drop. Drop. Push into the heel this way. Same thing here. So now you push into the heel this way. Yeah. And as you see, it's just making a big figure eight. Okay. So another way to break that up, another one we could do, it's basic, is I think something that's easy. The first move in the form is actually a good move to do as a repeat as well. It's just open, just doing that. The side looks like that. My shoulder, my shoulder height. Yeah. So you inhale, kind of sink your energy back this way into the ground. So inhale, blow it up. And then as you exhale, your hands come down, but your body actually stands up tall like if you're holding onto a table and pushing down on it, kind of standing yourself back up. You see that? You're pushing yourself up. Not way up, but you're holding onto, like I said, a table or something, pushing yourself up. Whereas here, you're inhaling, but you're kind of sinking. Your body's sinking. Everything's sinking this way. Then your hands rise the opposite way. You kind of blow it up. Now as you're sinking up and kind of pushing down with the hands at the same time. So there's always a float and a sink. You sink in order for your hands to float, then you float and stand up taller for your hands to sink. See that? It's subtle. You're not sinking a whole lot. Just kind of sinking your energy, like kind of like trying to get up under something to pick it up, but not too low, but if you're just trying to pick up something, just trying to get under, kind of just a little bit like that. So inhale, exhale, and down. You already start to sink again for the next move. Inhale. As your hands get up here, you're already exhaling and standing up tall. And you want to inhale and exhale through the nose. You want your tongue on the roof of the mouth, all right, behind the teeth. So your tongue's right there. Mouth closed lightly, and you breathe through the nose. Another thing you can think about after after you get comfortable with this, first you really just want to think of the sink and float and float and sink. Really, mainly that's the main thing to think about here. This part of your body drops. You're sending your energy back this way at the feet, and then you stand up taller. Right, so that's the main thing. Later, as this starts getting really comfortable, what you can do to add a little power to it, or make it a little more advanced. What you'll do is you'll imagine you have a big rug, right? And you're holding the top of the rug, and you're going rolling the rug out. So see get under, roll the rug out. Then you want the rug to pop, right? To pop it, and, roll. When you roll out, you want it to pop at the end. So we'll go. You go. See that? Roll the rug out. Right, so it's like you're trying to roll the rug out and pop it, right? Do a big, like a red carpet you're trying to roll out for somebody or something, right? You go, ah. She's doing it all with her legs. So then, of course, I'm obviously not doing this, I'm grabbing. And then try to put that same energy back in, but with the arms back the way they were. All right. Try a couple other basics. Another one would be just kind of like the beginning of the second move in the form, which is this. But I want to do one hand at a time first, and then we'll do that. And then we're just going to do it as continuous exercise. In the form after this, you would go here, here, well, rather, here, turn, right? So we're just going to break down the second part of the move, which is just this. So it looks like once it's going to be a figure eight, more or less the same as the other one, a little shorter. So it's going to be this one. Actually, so it's like here. So that's pointing towards you, towards the opponent. Your body turns about 45 degrees. Your hands about right there. straight to it on. Then it's gonna go here. And, okay. Your body is turning about 45 at the most. First, it's just get comfortable with this. So it's like you're hanging from a string and you're just turning from here. So to turn from here, you're not really using your waist. Well, you kind of do at first, but what you want to use is your feet, your legs doing this thing, right? One foot's pushing back, while the other foot's pushing forward. Um, this way. Then you push this foot back and this forward. Right? You're doing this. Actually, you know what? Let's do that basic first, and then we'll put that with the other. So it's just this. You ever seen a Nordic track? There's Nordic tracks. It's kind of what you're doing with your feet. Only the feet don't move. Right? But you're digging into the ground like that. So you're just doing this. It looks like this. Looks like kind of a funny exercise, but it's really good for the legs. Once again, like the Nordic track, one foot is pushing, one hand's pulling, right? Only they're not moving. They're just. It's actually a good exercise. Put your hands on a coffee table when you're sitting down and do that, just to get used to that push and pull. Our minds pick it up a lot quicker with our hands if you do that. Then you imitate it and do the same thing with your feet. Which is this. You just do that. And let the arms swing. Really dig into the ground. It's not your waist doing this, it's your feet powering it. One foot is always pushing, one is always pulling. You use this in Tai Chi, boxing, pretty much all martial arts. So you're doing a moves pretty similar to this with the feet, or at least should be. All right. Um, so we're doing that same thing, a little slower. So our feet are doing that thing with our feet to move our body. All right. Now as we do that, this turns this way, this follows behind. Like it's not like a robot, right? It's more like if you're underwater, one piece at a time. So I use my feet, which turns center. As I turn the center, this catches up. Go shoulder, elbow, wrist. And then I turn, this turns. That's shoulder, elbow, wrist, feet, center, torso, shoulders, elbow, wrist. You see that? You really want to dig in with the feet. You really do. Yeah. Okay. Now, other side, same move with the body. The other side. Keep in mind, this camera's looking up at me, but if I'm facing straight at you, it's there. Right? It just looks different because of the angle. So this is about at my throat level. This is a little higher. Right there. Usually when you do one hand exercise, put the other hand on your hip. So once again, using your legs, torso, shoulders, elbow, wrists, legs, torso, shoulder, elbow, wrists. Put it together. So, torso, arms follow, legs, 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 center, legs, center, torso follows, shoulders, elbows, wrists. All right. I think another real basic one. Let's see. The thing about Tai Chi is there's a lot of basics. There's a lot of basics. It's just about learning all the different basics and then being able to put them together is the key. Um, so I want to take it back to another move. We went over the circles, the shoulders. The shoulders, a couple of smaller circles, dropping, and then we did figure eights, big figure eight, a small figure eight. Let's get back to dropping our energies, just the basics. Uh, mhm. The basic thing is standing shoulder length, just to be able to drop all your energy into the ground. So one way we practice this, we're just doing this. What we're going to do now is a different way. Stand up on the heels and just let everything drop. I'm not pushing down, I'm just letting it drop. Letting it drop. Like you're hanging from a string, like a puppet, you're hanging from a string. And just let all the weight drop down to the feet. All right. Now, it's a little exaggerated, or it looks exaggerated when you do that, but you're actually going to do that what we're just doing there, the dropping energy like that. Real important. We're actually working that all the time. You start and end every move with that type of energy. So, like, before you even start doing Tai Chi, like you do your loosening up, your neck, the hips, all our circles, right? And we'll go over that next time. And we've done it before, but we'll do it again next time. Anyways, so you go over all those different kind of circles, how to kind of sink it to the ground. And then once you've loosened up, you just stand for a minute, like you're hanging from a string. The main things to remember for your posture are this. It's like you're hanging from a string at the center, and then it's almost like you at the tailbone should have like there's a weight pulling your tailbone down, so all your energy sinking down. You want to make sure that your neck is slightly tucked, not tense, but just slightly tucked, like if there's a ball around the size of your fist right here, and you're resting on it. So you're not sinking like this, but you're just not floating with the chin either. It's just like this, like this. Also here, you want to just slightly tuck the tailbone in, but just a little bit. You're not trying to like tense or anything, but just like you don't want your butt sticking out. Like so you want to just slightly pull the tailbone forward, And like I said, you feel like there's a weight there. Okay, so what that does is this part right here, your lower back, the back of like your belly buttons here, right below that's your dandian. The very back of that, right about there, the back of the dandian, you want to make sure it's not here, like you don't want that curve in the spine. You want that curve kind of rounded out so it straightens here. All right? So, anyways, that's what we're thinking of here. Just sitting, standing, let everything sink to the ground. You kind of sit down here. By sit down, I mean just like if we were, if there's a bar stool there or something, and you literally just sit down with the hips. You don't have to sit low, but just like if there's a chair right under you, you sit down. Sit down, that makes all your energy drop. Relax. Now this thing, we're doing the exact same thing, you just don't see it. It's slower. So right here, so you're going like that. I just go on the inside, get it all drop. And you just keep dropping it. So you usually spend a minute or two doing this just in a stance, you relax. And the idea is, as you're standing here, you want to feel as if first thing you have to do is relax the mind, or your body won't relax. So you kind of feel like there's maybe a ball, you're balancing a bowl on your head. And you relax kind of above, you kind of let like some you feel like there's a point up here, and you just let it relax, and it dissolves, and the liquid pours down into the bowl, overflows, because you're balancing it, and then kind of like warm butter is flowing down. It's kind of slowly is, and then it slows down. I mean, as it flows down, anything that's uncomfortable at all, basically like anything, like it's like you're a skeleton, right? And anything in between the bones that's any kind of tension or anything that's uncomfortable, you want to just feel that uncomfortableness just dissolve and flow down. So once again, it's like you're hanging from a string here. Relax, and you have to keep on relaxing your mind is the main thing. You relax, and you just let it flow, 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 flow. Balancing a bowl on your head, then chin relax. Just relax, let everything flow. It flows down the neck, all the vertebrae in between the neck, shoulders, and now as it goes down as it flows down the arm, it's also flowing down the torso. Once again, anything that feels uncomfortable, even just a little bit, just let it dissolve. Let it dissolve and sink, sink. So it's sinking lower, lower between every vertebrae, shoulders, the elbows, flows down the arms, also the hips. All this part, anything uncomfortable, the hips, flowing out the wrist and the fingers, anything uncomfortable, just flows there, down through the hips, all the way down to the tailbone. Keeps on flowing down the legs. The hips kind of open as you sit down, back, let it flow through, down to the knees, any part that's uncomfortable, in front of the knee, back of the knee, around the kneecap. Just let it all sink, let it all dissolve. Kind of goes in circles and spirals, so it all just flows down, kind of like water, but a little slower, like warm butter, slower. All right, down the calf, the ankle, let all the parts of the ankle relax, both sides. All those little bones in the feet, anything in between any of those that's uncomfortable, let it dissolve. And then down into the ground, down to the they call that the bubbling well, right behind the ball of the foot is. It's actually where the nerves end in your feet, right there too, right about here. It's also where your nerves endings up. That's where they call that the bubbling well. and that's where all the energy should just flow into the earth. So that's like a connection to the ground. So as everything relaxes, it goes in waves. And just let it all sink into the ground. And as it sinks into the ground, just the more relaxed you are, the more it should just sink into the deeper it'll flow into the ground. So just let it sink, sink, sink. And this is how you start your form. You start your practice. You do this for at least 3 to 5 minutes, just letting everything sink before you even start doing your Tai Chi, right? But for now, and you also end your practice the same way. So relax, relax. It's your warm up and your cool down. So another exercise we can do that helps this, real similar, is this one. So we're gonna inhale, and exhale. As you exhale, you do the thing we were just doing, which is just all the energy just go through your body by itself, just flow through. Flows through and takes anything uncomfortable and sends it down to the ground. Sink way into the ground. As you sink into the ground, you kind of sink. It's like when you do this thing, you sink a little lower, sink, sink. And inhale, you sink. That's what causes your hands to float. Now your hands are gonna, everything relaxes, and your body actually kind of goes a little taller as you do this. You let all the energy. Remember, the main thing is having the mind relax when you're doing this. Sink to the ground, float your energy up, and let yourself stand tall naturally. All energy sink. All relaxing to the ground. I want to show one more, but let me make sure we have time for it. We do. Okay. So another one is So well, first of all, what you're doing there is it's a clearing, like I forget what they call, like washing the. I forget exactly, but it's a clearing thing. Like you're trying to clear all your energy. The main channels you have, well, the main channel you have, of course, is your spine, your brain, your spine down to your tailbone, right? That's the main thing. And everything's off of that. I mean, because if your arms and legs got chopped off, you still survive with that, right? That's the main part. Okay, the next part that's real important is these channels here, which go from like the point where your artery is at here, where you would stop it if you had gotten your arm chopped, you have to stop this artery here where all the blood goes, right there. And then there's a place here where your artery goes right through here, right? All you knife fighters, I know that they cut people there. Anyway, so right here, where the arteries go through, and right here, those 2 points are real important. Well, there's a energy channel that goes through there. That energy channel is real important because you want that to be really clear. You don't want it stuck with tension. You want it real clear, like not kinked or anything, right? So blood and energy flows free, so that you can reach your extremities um, real strong. The energy can get out to the extremities strong. If it's blocked, it's gonna get stuck here. The energy's not gonna get out to the extremities. It's not gonna get to the feet or the hands. Right? So you relax that part. It's also that part's real associated with relaxing the mind. To relax those 2 channels there, you have to relax the mind. And that's what you're doing here. Relax the mind. And then you're trying to clear those 2 channels. See that? But the point is, we already did that one. The point is clearing your own energy, your mind, clearing your energy. Now there's another one, and this one similar, but you're trying to clear your outer energy, your Wei Chi, which is the energy around. We all have energy around us too, right? Kind of our psychic shield, so to speak, right? So once you've cleared your own energy, another one you can do is this. This way. Relax. And the idea is same thing. You gotta relax your mind, but here you're clearing all the energy around you. But you're still doing the same thing where you're like sync. You sync your body a little in order to float the energy up, and the other body stand up a little taller in order to let all the energy sink down. And here we're trying to clear the energy out here. So you can kind of get better at this, kind of clear the energy in the room sometimes. Sometimes you can do this without actually having to do this part. You kind of mentally do it later. But anyways, inhale, exhale, all through the nose. All right. See what enough time for another one. Let's do the cool down. I'll touch on another one real quick. We won't do much of it. The other one is just real simple, shoulder length, and you're just doing this. You're just letting it. You're turning from the feet in, doing this. And just it's like those little drums. You turn, and the little things that hit the side of the thing. And you let your arms go ahead and hit the here, and then the kidneys in the back. Then they remove, but same thing. We're doing just a little bit of that, and then what I want you to do is at the end of every practice, especially after you've done these, at the very end of your practice, put your hand on the Dandian, which is basically the belly button, but just a hair lower, a couple centimeters below like an inch and a half below the center, below the belly button. And you're just gonna relax. The same thing. Make sure the back straight. So you sink the chin. Make sure the back of the Dandian's out. Tucking a little bit, and then just sit down. By sit down, I just mean like sit down in place where you're at. Sit down with the Dandian. Relax, feel like you're hanging from a string. And just let everything sink to the ground. And the main thing here is just relaxing the mind. You just want to relax the mind and feel like you're listening in back of you. And you're trying to hear the quiet. All you're looking for is the quiet. Just relax, quiet the mind, and listen. But try to listen for the silence. Like if you're in one of those deserts or something.